Bhutan in 1971 was put in a category called the least developed category, LDC, by the UN. And it was in December 13th that 2023, I think, that we graduated from a least developed to a developing nation. This is not a history lesson. I will come to why this is an important thing because today is Wednesday. Hi, my name is Karma Dendrup, and for those of you who have been following me, you know that every Wednesday I do a video called #MyTake. And for those who are watching this for the first time, every Wednesday I do a video called #MyTake, and we go in an alphabetical order. This week we reached Q, and from Q, what I wanted to speak about was quality. With regard to quality, I just want to share a experience I had last week. We are a very shout out to Jego. We use the food delivery app quite frequently, and they do a very good job. Their riders are very sweet. They bring it all the way up. We live on the 3rd floor, so that's a huge help for me with my vision impairment. Anyway, without digressing from what I wanted to talk about. So last week, it wasn't quite a great delivery in a sense, nothing to do with Jego. We ordered pastries. It was an after lunch food order. And amongst many things, I was very eager to try out a pastry called coconut bar or something like that. Cut a long story short, the delivery came ahead of time. Again, shout out to Jego. And then when we ate the pastry, which was amongst the rate of what normally pastry shops and cafes here in Thimphu charge for the pastry, it was more on the expensive side. But sadly, the pastry was stale. And me being the person that I am, I'm the kind of person like if there is a power outage or if there is a blackout, I'll be one of the first eager persons to call Bhutan Power Corporation. So anyway, the pastry was stale. So I called up Jego. They took my feedback and they said they'll relate it across to the cafe. But me being the person that I am, I had to get to the root of it. So I found out a number of the cafe. So I called up the place. Now bear with me here. So what happened was the girl was very sweet. Turns out that the place, because I spoke about how I'm a regular customer of both Jego and their cafe, and I really look up to them because I have found out that the place is run by the owner is a graduate of a culinary school. So I spoke about how much what kind of expectations I have from an establishment such as that. And the girl was sweet. She took my feedback. She said the person who supplies the pastry it's out of country, but she said she'll make sure that she'll convey my feedback to her. Long story short, it's just getting longer every time I'm saying that, but what happened was then she called me back and said, "Sir, you don't have to pay for the pastry, you can just pay for the delivery." I got back to her saying that I do not want my refund. More importantly, what I was giving is a feedback so that this doesn't repeat. And having said that, she was very happy. She also made it a point to express to me that nobody has ever done this before. And she was very thankful and grateful. And on my part, the reason why I thought that we should talk about Q and quality this week is because Bhutan, from what I hear in the news, has an active consumer quality protection or consumer protection, something like that. I don't know what the toll-free number is, otherwise I would have shared it, but you can easily Google it. I think we as Bhutanese need to use this facility that we have, because unless we use it, it might become redundant and eventually it might become a useless establishment. And from what I hear, they seem to have, for a lack of a better term, they seem to have a healthy set of teeth in a sense, because I saw one TikTok a video of a girl who was mistreated or wasn't treated properly in Bhutan. She made a complaint to the consumer protection and the people got back to her. I started this video by talking about how Bhutan has graduated from a least developed country. It took us 50 plus years to graduate from least developed to developed to developing, and we as citizens also need to be developing. And in that sense, while I make this video, I am mindful of the fact that I am not only talking about consumer rights, I'm also talking about the fact that if establishments, be it cafes, just like how I told the girl in the cafe that I called back to give my feedback. At the end of the day, she might be serving food. She's a server there, still up there. And but I told her how important her job is, because I said luckily it was me who ate the pastry and I seem to have quite a healthy and strong gut. So I hardly get any kind of food poisoning or anything of that sort. But I was saying, if my daughters had eaten it, if they had got sick, in a worst case scenario, somebody comes to your restaurant, you eat stale food, you just want to save, you don't want to throw the food, you're thinking about the cost of the resources and the salary that you pay your staff. But what you're not thinking is, you're not thinking in the long run, in a sense where, what if a consumer or a customer gets sick, gets food poisoning, and in a worst case scenario dies? So I think more than anything, I wanted this video to talk about the fact that Bhutan is now a developing country. We as citizens of Bhutan also need to be developing, and service providers also need to be developing, and to take feedback and complaints as not somebody trying to attack your profits or your establishment, but rather as a well-wisher who is trying to make your establishment better. I heard about a hotel or a restaurant owner somewhere in between Dojula and Lebisa, about how when one of his staff, his dishwasher, was washing glass and it slipped from her hand and it broke. The owner's reaction as soon as he heard the glass break was he came running to the basin and asked, "Is your hand all right?" And I love this story. It's a simple story, and I think this is how we as Bhutanese with Galafu Mindfulness City or Gross National Happiness, this is how we need to grow forward. If leaders, owners can look at feedback, and if they can look at their staff with love and compassion, then we would be at our destination of much, much sooner and faster than we hope to. Lasso, thank you so much. I do this every Wednesday. You can find all of my videos here on TikTok. And if you like what I am saying, and then don't forget to repost it or follow me.